Pan-Africanist Congress leader Mzwanele Nyhontso is promising to fast-track land claims in an effort to clear the current backlogs. He's been appointed the new Land Reform and Rural Development Minister as part of a government of national unity deal. Nyhontso joins us for more on his plans. A very good evening to you, Mr. Nyhontso. Thanks very much for your time. Really appreciate it. Now, all our problems originate from the original sin of whites taking our land violently. This has been your philosophy, and you repeated this only a day ago.
Oh yes, greetings to you, Mr. Mvoko, and greetings to your viewers, and thanks for having us. Yes, indeed. All our problems as Africans are emanating from the original sin by white people of violently taking our land. Now, I said yesterday, now at least through the act of parliament, we must address that problem. Now, yes, Mr. Mvogo, we are going to prioritize land claims. The backlog that I'm told is around thousands. And that means there's a huge backlog, and we need to look at that. And then, of course, we're also going to prioritize the rural development. We believe that this area of rural development has been ignored for quite some time. And we want to see rural areas developed. We want to see rural roads built. We want to see people from these areas working from their own rural areas, working the land in their own places, working, of course, close to the kings and queens of our people, to make sure that people work the land, and to make sure that we stop or we minimize the urbanization of African people from rural areas to the big cities in search of greener pastures, when they can have land and when they can produce fresh produce for themselves and eat and sell them, so that they can live a healthy and peaceful life where they are coming from.
But, I mean, by focusing on rural areas, you're not suggesting that people living in urban areas don't care or pay attention to land redistribution.
No. I don't mean that. I mean where some of them, they are in these towns simply because they don't have anything to take care of their families. Some of them are in these big cities because they are going there to look for jobs. And you find most of our brothers and sisters in Cape Town, for example, where I have experience, they go from all these areas, and all of them work as securities in Cape Town. And there are no employment opportunities. All I'm saying is that the land must be utilized. The land must be able to feed the African people. The land must be able to bring employment to our own people. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying they don't take serious the rural development. They can't stay here if there are no job opportunities. That we understand.
Now, I mean, the most recent land audit report, which was commissioned by the Land Reform Department in 2018, showed that whites owned the majority of the land at 72%,
yes,
followed by colored people at 15%, Indians at 5%, and Africans at 4%.
Oh, imagine. That's the sad part. That is why we must also prioritize this land redistribution, land restitutions, and all these things. We must address that. I have that audit report, and of course I'm going to get briefings on Tuesday from the department, and we'll sit down and chart the way forward. So we are going to see what to do. The Deputy Minister and myself are going to be in that meeting to see to it. What can we do beyond Tuesday to address exactly these problems, including looking at the recommendations of that audit committee. We're also looking forward to talk to members of that audit committee because we know all of them. So we can always engage them and understand, and also we'll also get the report. Already the previous minister, had already offered herself that he would want to meet with me. So he briefed me of what was happening around the department. So yes, it's a set state of what is happening with the land, and it's good that there are recommendations, and we look at them, Rafui.
Yeah, in 1995, Nelson Mandela said, and I quote, "With freedom and democracy came restoration of the right to land, and with it the opportunity to address the effects of centuries of dispossession and denial." Where do you think the ball was dropped?
I don't know. I don't want to blame others before me. And I understand that statement very clearly, and it is talking to what we have always been saying, that we must embark on the land restoration, that we must address the problem of dispossession, because we are a dispossessed nation. We must address that. So I don't want to blame and say it was dropped here and not there. Up until I sit down with the department, get the briefings, I will know. I will also look at the graph of the land redistribution. What was happening when it was President Mbeki, it was President Mandela, it was President Zuma. When did the draft drop of land redistribution? It will show us that it dropped at this level, and we'll know this is where the ball was dropped. Then we'll be able to come back to you with facts, not with assumptions.
No, but then for a party, or as a leader of a party that believes in land first and all shall follow, by now you ought to have ruthlessly analyzed everything that has happened over the past 30 years. And by now, you should be having the information in your fingertips. And with that, ideas as to how, in other words, some of the ideas that you'll be putting before your cabinet colleagues next week, for example.
I have done that exactly. It's just that when I want me to give you that information, when I must still meet with the department for an official briefing, formal briefing on Tuesday. So I have done that. We've been doing it. We've been talking land. We've never said anything in politics in this country without mentioning the land subject. So we have Bravido. And did you listen also to the minister in the presidency? Minister Nchabeni, who said next week we will also sit down and analyze all the manifestos of the parties who are in the GNU. And I was so excited about it because we've mentioned the issue of land very clearly in our manifesto. So after Tuesday, once we meet with everybody, we draw our own program. After Tuesday, we'll be able to say we are putting 100 days. And beyond this, after 100 days, we'll come back and report to the nation. This is what we've achieved. This is what we did not achieve. This is what we think we'll achieve. And we'll do that to the nation through you in the media.
And she did also say that they're not going to entertain ideologies there, but very real, practical suggestions about what needs to be done.
Yes, she also said so. So there was nothing wrong with what she was saying.
What is your understanding of what she meant by that?
No, my understanding is that we will sit down and discuss the manifestos of all the parties who are in the GNU, and then from there we'll have a way forward. And that's how I understood her. And when she said they will not entertain ideologies, I did not see it as malicious or there was something wrong with that, because I know that you can't go there and raise everybody knows the ideology of our different political parties. So I just understood her as from that angle, that we are not going to go there and speak our ideologies instead of speaking to the realities that are facing our people right now. And that reality, one of them, is the landlessness of our people.
One of our agricultural economists, Wandile Slobo, writes in a publication recently that, but he was talking specifically about agriculture and, of course, issues of land around agriculture. And he made a statement that I found to be interesting, where he was saying, with John Steenhuisen being an agricultural minister, and as the leader of the Democratic Alliance, he doesn't think there would be a lot of problems because the DA is not far from the ANC in its approach to agriculture, which then suggests that the dynamics may be skewed, so to speak, or there's a greater likelihood that you will have the ANC and the DA agreeing on a lot of things. Your assessment?
That's the analysis of that aspect. So let's wait and see. I've already have an appointment with Minister Steenhuisen because we will definitely be working close to each other. We've already agreed that we should meet and chart the way forward together. So let me not talk about assumption of experts and analysts. You know, most they always analyze. Most of them were saying these elections were the last coffin for the PAC, will never come back again. So let me not talk about experts and analysts. Let's face the reality when it happens. Let's wait and see, Bravo.
Remember, you'll be at the center of it. On the one hand, you have your own comrades, together with whom you agreed that you should, form part of this government of national unity. And obviously, yes, they are motivated by what you know to be your positions, especially on issues of land, and who will be looking at whether you are going to make a difference. And the reason I'm asking this is because, I mean, the optics, of it all, if you come out of a meeting where they don't see value or they don't think you will make a difference, having, pushed for whatever position on issues of land, then they would see you as a failure.
I don't think so. PAC will never look at me as a failure. In fact, PAC members will never fail, and they don't fail where they serve, everywhere. You can check generals in this country from APLA. You can check officials in this country from the PAC. You can check judges. Most of them were PAC at some point. PAC members do not fail. PAC members are not fakes. They face the reality. They say it when they feel it's wrong. They say it when they feel it's right. They give credit. That we've always been doing. I don't believe that they will be ganging up against me, or they'll be ganging up against what the PAC stands for. The fact that Minister Ntshavheni said we will be given an opportunity to discuss all manifestos, that means the PAC manifesto is part of those manifestos that are going to be looked at. So we will be there, and we will see after the meeting the outcomes of that particular meeting. I don't believe that so-and-so is going to gang up against this one, and so-and-so is going to gang up against this one. We're very clear when we joined the government of national unity, the country has to move forward. The government has to be formed. Service delivery has to be taken to our people. So that was very clear from PAC position, and we did not have demands. So we are happy to be part of this, and we are happy that our manifesto is going to be discussed at this level of governance, something that never happened before.
And I was asking that, of course, also because the EFF, for instance, has said that in the past they have had conversations with the ANC and agreed, to certain positions only for the ANC to have cold feet.
I don't know. Let me not comment about what the EFF said and what the EFF experienced. We engaged the ANC. We went to them with an open mind. We engaged them, and there we are. They gave us the ministry. They did not make anything to us that they did not honor, or they did not treat us as they are, what you call it, little brothers or half brothers. No, they treated us with respect and we reciprocated. So I can't speak for what happened between the FF and the ANC. I don't know, really. I can't. In fact, you are unfair for dragging me to what the FF said about the ANC. You are unfair.
You said earlier that you already have an appointment with John Steenhuisen, who is the Minister of Agriculture. Have you done the same, or are you going to do the same with the Minister of Housing, Mamloko Kubai, for example? Because especially in relation to urban areas, if you look at the situation in our urban areas.
No, I'll definitely do the same. In fact, even this one, it was Minister Steenhuisen who said to me, we need to meet because we will have to work together at some point, and I immediately agreed. So, of course, we will do the same with Minister Kubai. We'll do the same with everyone who's maybe clustered with us or whose department may overlap to this department. We have to do it. We will do it with Minister Kubai and other ministers. Of course, we'll be working through the cabinet.
I want to take you back to the moment when the president called you. What did he say to you?
You mean when he called me
saying,
before the announcement?
Yes, saying that he has this idea. He wants to appoint you to his cabinet.
No, he said so and we welcomed it. We said, no, we're accepting it. This is who we are. Land talks to what PAC stands for. Land represents what the PAC has always been fighting for. Land is us. So we accepted it there and there. There was nothing else. There was no meeting. It was such a short call. We accepted the invitation.
And he didn't tell you why he chose to give it to you, or did you take that for granted, that it was because of your long-standing position on the issue of land? In other words, is that what he said?
I took it for granted. I did not ask him. Remember, it remains his prerogative. Yes. I did not ask him. I just took it for granted that he understands that PAC has always been talking about land. He understands that PAC's position on land, or this position is our passion. That's how I took it. And there, I just said, thank you, we are grateful. And of course, we remain grateful even right now to the president.
Mr. Nyhontso, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.